Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Sorry, you're muted.
I just realized that, and I can see that I'm going to do all of this all over again. Hey guys, I've been muted. Hey Tatanisha, Christopher, I can see your comment came through. Nobody could hear me. Basically, too long didn't read. Hi from us here at Hot Jobs with Hire Military. It's lovely to see you this afternoon. If you're new to us and you haven't been in one of these with us before, welcome. I can see that people say that they can't hear, which is great because there are people watching us. We want to know where you are watching from. What you're interested today, the Skillbridge internship opportunity, direct hire. Do you have any questions for us in terms of recruiting, the job search? What is it that we can support you on today, and why are you here? What information can we share with you? We really want everybody to go away with something that they didn't know before they came, which incidentally, because we have some guests with us today, is absolutely going to happen. But we are glad that you found us, and welcome to 30 minutes of us here at Hot Jobs Live. We want to give you as much as we possibly can today. Today we have a whole host of information to share with you. But before we do that, take a look at our website, hiremilitary.us. On that website, you will see various different resources accessible to you in terms of your search for the Skillbridge internship opportunity or the permanent job hunt. You will see at the top there is a resources button. Do click on that because we have some great collateral in terms of how to target the resume. I know that you have heard time and time again, you've got to target your resume. You've got to tailor your resume when you apply for a role. Super easy for a recruiter to say that, but not so easy when you don't quite know how to do it. So take a look at that because we walk you through it step by step. In turn, there's a wonderful piece around creating an effective LinkedIn profile. So I definitely would encourage you, if you are starting out on your LinkedIn journey, if you are networking, building your community, definitely take a look at that. Nathan, it's lovely to see you. I hope you find a hot job too. I want to take the opportunity to also share that we have some buttons on that homepage. We have a button that you can click to look for all of our permanent roles that we're recruiting for at the moment, all of our Skillbridge internship opportunities. As well, if you don't find anything that piques your interest or really sits with your career skill set or your experience, you can then pick one of the other buttons there that allows you to join our pipeline. What that means is effectively you are registering your details into our database, and we send you out regular emails. We also go to that database when we are scanning and sourcing for the roles that we are recruiting for. If we haven't met before, I would love to take the opportunity to introduce myself. I am Lucy. I am the Senior Director here at Hire Military. I'm an active duty military spouse. Everybody in our business is either active duty or a veteran, so I definitely fall on the spouse side, as you can probably tell by my accent. And currently, my husband is stationed in the boonies in rural Alaska. So is it Anchorage? No way. It's not the big city. We're 7 hours away from there. If you're familiar with Fort Wainwright, we are not there either. We are at Eielson Air Force Base, about 40 minutes outside of Fairbanks. I'm going to hand over to Amber to take a moment to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Amber. I am the sourcing coordinator for the Skillbridge program here at Hire Military. The program is really important and special to me because I actually started as an intern myself with Hire Military last year and then retired from the Air Force in September. So I've been with Hire Military for almost a year now, actually. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to introduce our guests in a little bit and tell you some more about what we have.
Thank you, Amber. Who have we got watching us today? Hey, Thomas, it's lovely to see you from Huntsville. Nathan says he misses Alaska. Eielson was awesome. It is, but it's also awesome when you get to leave. Katina, it's great to see you today. Chayel, Jonathan, so many people here in the chat. So we hope we can share some great information with you. This really is our favorite 30 minutes of the week. And I am really pleased to be able to hand back over to Amber now because we have got some of our previous Skillbridge interns with us today. They come to us by way of an awesome organization called Sprout Social. Sprout Social has been working with us probably for the last 6 months or so in terms of connecting them with great military talent for the Skillbridge internship opportunity. And we are recruiting for another cohort to start in April. And we thought, who better than to describe their experience, their opportunity, their success, and what they have done than actual past hire military interns themselves. So I'm going to hand the baton back over to Amber. I think I'm going to be removed from the screen, and she is going to share with you and with them just some elements of their success and what they have been up to. So over to you, Amber.
All right, I'm so excited for this. So first, I would like to introduce Darren Wood and Anthony Giordani. They will both come on and introduce themselves, but I just wanted to bring them on to explain what Sprout Social does, what a day in the life of an SDR is, sales development representative. We started this last year, like Lucy said, and had 2 cohorts. This year we have 3. One, as Lucy said, starting in April, one starting in July, and another one in October. And they are looking to bring on veterans. They are really, really excited. The program went really well last year. And so a lot of times if you see me posting on LinkedIn, if you happen to be connected with me, you'll see me post about Sprout Social a lot. And the common question I get is, what is an SDR? What does a sales development rep do? Is this, cold calling? Is this door to door? Things like that. It is not. The sales development representative is a remote SkillBridge opportunity available for service members in their last 180 days of service who are approved under the SkillBridge or CSP program if we're talking Army. So with that, I would like to bring Darren and Anthony on to introduce themselves. They both are Navy veterans, and I will let them tell us a little bit about themselves. Darren, do you want to start?
Yeah, thanks, Amber. So my name is Darren Wood. Recently transitioned out of the Navy in December of 2023. I was a MH-60 Romeo air crewman here in Jacksonville, Florida at HSM 74. And then found the SkillBridge internship through Amber on Reddit, which is pretty crazy. And then now I'm working full-time as a sales development rep here, having a great time.
Fantastic. Anthony.
Hey everybody, my name is Anthony Giordani. I did 10 years in the Navy. I separated actually January 25th was my last day on active duty. I was a personnel specialist. My duty stations were Virginia Beach, Vermont, and Newport, Rhode Island. Personnel specialist, basically pay human resources type. Sales wasn't really on my radar. I got the job through Amber and super glad I did, having a great time as well.
Fantastic. I love hearing that. So again, I'm really excited. So don't mind me if I'm smiling a whole lot because I've waited to do this interview for a really long time with these two. So we will get started. So my first question is going to be to Darren. Can you tell us what motivated you to apply for the internship?
Yeah, so I guess when I was looking to transition out of the military, I wanted something that was flexible with my schedule, just because you're spending a lot of time away from family. And then this opportunity came up. It was remote. Worked with Amber and Sprout Social and realized how flexible they were, working with kind of all the sales development interns. And yeah, I mean, my motivation came from, I would say, yeah, the flexibility aspect and then the personal development side too. So I knew sales was going to work on my speaking skills because, as you can tell, not the best speaker because I'm used to speaking on radios and a helicopter where you're using brevity, everything's a lot shorter. So I've been getting a lot better at developing kind of my personal skills, and that's kind of what motivated me to go to the sales development route.
That's wonderful. What about you, Anthony? What motivated you to apply for this particular internship? I know you said sales wasn't on your radar, so.
Really just doing something outside of my comfort zone. Also the flexibility was definitely huge. Like being able to work from home was super appealing. I knew I wanted to move down to Florida. And also I always had a kind of interest in getting into the business field. So I felt like sales would be a great key to open up a lot of doors and kind of get introduced into business. It's kind of the front line of a lot of business organizations. So that's kind of really what motivated me to apply.
Perfect. So I'm actually going to you're going to have the next question. Can you tell me and tell our audience, because this is the common question we get, what is what does a SDR do day to day? What are your responsibilities during your internship?
Yeah, so we're like the front line of the organization, really, like sales wise. So if somebody kind of calls in or emails in or wants to see a demo or the tool, we're kind of like really at the front of the line to be that first point of contact. So what we really do is, we're on our emails, we're on our phones all day, kind of just tracking customers, also existing customers as well, reaching out to them for support, and really just trying to set up meetings so they can meet with the product expert. Really is the account executive on that next call. So that's really our job, is kind of just screening, taking notes, and then setting up that meeting if it makes sense, and bringing in that pipeline with existing customers, for that chance to upsell, or customers that are just brand new to the organization. So it's a lot of talking with people, but everyone really is really engaged and interested in Sprout. It's not super like cold calling in the sense of we're calling people, even people that don't have any idea who we are. They're coming to our websites, they're clicking on our resources, our emails, and stuff like that.
That's amazing. So Darren, can you tell me a little bit about what Sprout's platform is? What is it exactly that you're selling to potential customers or people that are coming to you interested in the program?
Yeah. So Sprout Social is a social media management platform, and it is really meant for any organization with a social presence at all, which is pretty much every business that's out there right now. So the market spread is huge. We work with people that are freelancers, so one employee, all the way up to tens of thousands of employees. So the platform works on like content publishing side, the reporting side, analytics, things like that, and then review management, social listening, kind of the list goes on. Sprout Social is definitely the best platform there is within the social media management side of an industry.
I love that. And you can also say that Sprout Social was just named #1, right? By
Yes.
which organization?
Yeah, so Sprout Social, they were just named #1 software product by G2, which is a kind of third-party review organization. But if you kind of search Sprout Social G2, you'll see how many awards that Sprout Social has won over the past couple of years, and then they're over some big name software companies. So it kind of shows you how established they are within the industry.
That's fantastic. I love it. All right, Anthony, what was one of your highlights from your internship?
I would say the training we got definitely stands out. So by the time we were able to start the job, like it was kind of just streamlined, like snap of a finger right into the job. It was great, and also the camaraderie at the organization was like a family. To be honest, I felt very, you know, felt that way in the military with a lot of my commands, like looking out for each other, and that teamwork. And it kind of rolled over with Sprout Social. It felt right at home. I remember me and Darren kind of talking about it like our second week we were there, is how we kind of just felt like we had been there for a while. So yeah, the training was great. Just kind of learning what sales is about really stood out, and kind of opening my eyes to that.
So Darren, I wanted to ask you, I know you, during your introduction, you said, your background is completely different, right? Working in the Navy with helos. So to touch on what Anthony had to say, as far as the training goes, did you really felt like as you came on board, they taught you everything you needed to know from start to finish so that you would be successful at the end and starting your full-time position? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, so I don't really have a background or anything with customer service or sales. And as long as you have an open mind and you're coachable and you're kind of drop your ego, no matter what you did in the military, no matter how long you serve, they will teach you what you need to know to be successful in this role. And they give feedback when you ask for it. They give feedback when you don't ask for it. But the feedback that they give you is always um, you apply it, and you can be successful the next day. It everything they give you is great.
I love it. I love to hear that. Company culture is extremely important. And I know in my transition, it was very similar. I was seeking a place where I felt like I was immediately, in a cohesive group with a family again. It's really hard when you leave the military because you're so used to a specific type of structure. And I can tell just from chatting with both of you and our other interns that Sprout really does open their doors and accept everyone and make sure that it's a team-based environment. So Anthony, what advice would you give to future interns joining Sprout Social? Something that maybe you didn't know beforehand.
I would say just kind of keep an open mind. Don't try to do too much at once. Kind of take like day for day, and just try to really just be a sponge. If you decide to come to Sprout, take in as much as you can. Reach out to people. Everyone is super helpful, willing to help out and network. And just kind of take your time. And by the end of it, you'll had learned so much. You'll be like, wow, I've come a long way in 4 months. Just approach it. Kind of remember why you wanted to do it, and just kind of keep that in mind for your short-term and long-term goals.
I love it. Darren, what about you? What is one piece of advice you would give to interns who are looking to potentially join the Sprout Social team?
Yeah, it kind of ties into my last answer. Yeah, just not going into it with an ego, being coachable, like Anthony said, being a sponge with all the information they give you. Because there are things that you do that you're like, oh, this is easy. I can send an email, talk on the phone, things like that. But there is so much like psychology behind sales that you may not be aware of that can be easily implemented that can make you successful. So just be willing to listen to the feedback, whether it's good feedback or bad feedback.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. I saw Lucy pop back on, so I want to thank Darren and Anthony both. You guys are fantastic. We really appreciate it. I'll turn it back over to Lucy.
But before they leave, there have been some questions from the audience. So can I throw these at you guys? I know some things have changed. So to Thomas Griffin, who asked this, and Jeffrey Kane, who also wanted to know, I'm name checking you. Darren and Anthony were part of the first cohort. So, this was the first one that we did. So things have been amended since then. But one of the biggest questions that we've had, or the most regular question we've had is, at what point during the SkillBridge timeline did the company offer you a role? And I feel like the information you're going to share is possibly different, Amber, to the information we have with new cohorts moving forward.
Yes. So, off of Lucy's point, it is going to be different than it was for us because we were the very first cohort. We were told kind of a week out before our internship ends, which I know sounds like a very short period of time because it is. But kind of around the 45-day, 30-day mark, they gave us information to be like, hey, we know that you should have an answer by now. Like just trust us. You can apply to jobs. We'll give you recommendations, but we're not going to have an answer for you until the 7-day mark. And that's one of the big things on why I believe Anthony chose Sprout also is the transparency with all the information they have. There's nothing that you feel is hiding behind closed doors. They're open with everything, that all the information that you ask or that they give to you.
And I know that will change for cohorts moving forward because we had the conversation with them at the time. They said, oh, it's a bit late in the day to be able to share that information. So my understanding, Amber, is it's going to happen around just before the 4 week out mark now. I think that's when they're hoping to be able to make the offers 4 weeks before the end of the internship.
Yes, correct. Yes. One of the fantastic things, and I give credit to our first cohort and our second, Darren and Anthony, right, where we ask for feedback during your SkillBridge internship. We want to know how it's going, what you liked, what didn't work well. And we actually take that feedback and go back to the companies and negotiate on, hey, how can we make this better? We're all about the experience that you have. We want you to have the best experience. So we worked it out with them. And yes, the offer will come at a 4 week out mark. So that way you have time to think it over, accept, not accept, or continue looking if you choose to do so. So
perfect. And Jeffrey and a couple of other people have asked, how long is the actual internship itself?
It's 4 months. The actual internship is 4 months.
Wonderful. Was that 4 quick months or 4 short months?
Very quick. It flew.
Yeah. No, that's great. I really appreciate. I learned a lot of information today, so thank you so much for joining us, guys. I know it's difficult when you've never done one of these before, and it's a bit like, oh gosh, I'm on show, but this has been great information to be able to share with our population. And like I told you before, this is going to now live on our website and on our LinkedIn page, so that we will be able to share this with future people who are considering the opportunity. Amber, we've got a bit more information to share today, haven't we? I know that there have been some other questions in the chat. One of them was Tatanisha asked around resume assistance. I'm really sorry, we don't help with resume assistance. We are recruiters. And so with that in mind, the expectation is that applicants or candidates come to us combat ready. So for want of a better word, that means that you've kind of got your first iteration of the resume together. You know what you're looking to do. You kind of know where you're looking to do it, and you connect with us because you have seen a role that you're interested in. We do hold your hand from that point onwards and support with the resume. But if you're starting from scratch and you're looking for support to get yourself going, I would highly recommend Hire Heroes USA. Also, the USO transitions team. Both of them have got great websites that you can connect. You can register your interest, and they will work with you to create a product that hopefully can be your first iteration of your resume. So that was one of the questions. I'm really glad that we were able to share that. There has been a lot of interest in Sprout Social today. And if you do have any further questions for Anthony or Darren, if you are watching this not live, please do put your questions in the chat. And we will connect and give you the responses as best as we possibly can after the event. So don't think just because this is pre-recorded, you can't ask a question. We definitely will answer away. Just to finish up here today, we've got a couple more minutes. I wanted to share some other opportunities with you or bring them to your attention. We are working with a super cool organization in Orange Beach, Alabama, and Perdido Key, Florida. They are a hospitality company. They have some great beach bars there. So if you are living in that area and looking for hospitality type work to keep you going, they've got an operations manager and all other manner of positions. Please do take a look at our website or drop a comment here below, and we will share the link with you. We would love to raise the awareness of those opportunities. In addition, we work with an organization called Veteran Service Brands. If you have followed us and listened to one of these before, you would have heard us talk about the organization. But we work with them in 2 capacities. I live on an Air Force installation. The jets are going overhead at the moment. Sound of Freedom is happening, so I'm sorry about that. The first is that they have franchise opportunities open and only available to veterans. They have 4 different brands. They are all trades type brands. So one is PaintCore, which is a residential and commercial painting company. The other is epoxy flooring, so Mark 1. One is G-Force, which is parking lot striping. They've got the Bollard Brigade, which is putting bollards up in parking lots. Well, actually, they've got 6 brands now. Athletic Field Striping, and Air Ops, which is striping actually at airports. But they are a home away from home for the veteran. You can buy into this franchise opportunity. Everybody has an experience, a past just like yours. It is such a collaborative and team environment, and they really do set you up for success in terms of building your own business. They give you everything you need, including training, equipment, wraps for your truck, marketing, social media management, and a team that have been there and done that ahead of you. If you kind of like the sound of that, but you're not ready for the franchise opportunity just yet, we have got 2 SkillBridge internship opportunities to help and run the operations of 2 of these. Both of them are in the Northeast. One is in the Baltimore area and one is in the Philadelphia area. So if you are interested in hearing more about a SkillBridge internship working with these companies, I tell a lie, we've got Dover, Delaware as well. So 3. Do connect with me or drop a message below and we will get you to that information. Working with a GovCon, a government contractor out there, Acuity International has got roles downrange. So if you are looking for a short-term or a longer-term contract in security or healthcare, you want to earn a bit of that tax-free income in either Iraq or Somalia, take a look at our website or connect with me and I can share the links with you. They have got process and tech-based critical service roles across the downrange locations to fulfill various positions in either security, intel analysis, or medical technology. So if that's piquing your interest and sounds like, oh, I could be interested in that, definitely do connect with me there. And finally, if you are still active duty and you are getting your IT certs together to try and apply for cyber or IT related SkillBridge internships or roles, then look no further than Skillstorm and their certifications that they can offer through Cool. They have 16-week programs that equip you with all the skills needed through immersive tech training. They start every 2 weeks and they generally tend to be in cloud, cyber, Java, AWS, and they do have program management as well. So if you are looking to add a certificate or two to your resume post-active duty, definitely connect with me because I can drop that link for you. But that leaves me just to say, sorry about the tech at the very beginning. You couldn't hear me, but it was only for a couple of minutes and maybe you didn't want to hear me anyway, who knows? But on behalf of both Amber and I, we really appreciate you joining us today. It has been great to see you. So much activity in the chat and we look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care. Bye-bye.